Here we go. GM. I'm sorry. We have a lot of links, a lot of things. So I was curating, blame it on the new arch. Exactly. I was curating, and let's just zoom out for a moment just to give the folks a peek at our backgrounds. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, as soon as I saw mine, like I know exactly what my background is.
I feel like I need to position myself accordingly.
You need to move a little bit. Yeah. That's perfect. Can you slide a little bit to the side for a second too, so they can see which one that is? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's amazing. That's amazing. The OG token in there. We are going to get rolling. Please retweet, recast, share the mini app. Let everybody know we are live, and we are going to be back in just 40 seconds after this little intro. See you on the other side. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, October 22nd, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. Plus, we're going to have Zaal, Better Call Zaal, on to chat about Zaal. And it looks like we're not, okay. It is showing that we are live on Twitter, but it's not giving those nice little prompts that it does to tell people. So if you're over there, give us a little retweet, because I don't think we're getting some distribution right now. So anyway, we are rolling here. We've got a lot to chat about, mostly about one thing, and we'll get there. But we have a couple other things to catch up on first. And let me just let people know we are live. One more second. Okay. Here we go. All right, we've got so many things to talk about, but I want to start with this because this was like full on everybody in crypto Twitter, everybody on Farcaster talking about this. So Cobie, okay, for those who don't know Cobie, let me jump ahead to CJ's comment here. I'm afraid to ask, who the fuck is Cobie? So, and then Zinger did a nice little lore here. The weird lore of Cobie, born in the UK, studies computer science at Bristol University, works in tech and fintech, including Monzo Bank as a product manager, buys Bitcoin in 2012 when it was under $10, joins early crypto communities, fascinated by decentralization. It goes on. He had a podcast called Up Only that was very, very popular 2021, 2022 during the height of all the things. Last big bull run during COVID and all that. And actually really solid podcast, like very interesting. One of my favorites. So I was watching the day, the live stream with Duquan and Martin Shkreli, the day that like basically everything collapsed with FTX and they were just like, SBF is going to jail kind of thing. And it was wild. Like watching the live stream was wild to all of a sudden see Martin Shkreli pop up on the screen. I'm like, what is Farmer Bro doing here? And he's talking about he's giving advice on jail. He's giving advice on like how to get to prison.
I kind of vaguely remember this.
It was just wild. It was wild. And so anyway, he had posted this back in May, this NFT, because somebody had asked about, are you ever going to live stream again? And he said, no. And then he did this NFT and he said, okay, if somebody pays me 25 million, I'll I'll live stream again. So that's what this NFT was. And it says the holder of this admission ticket can compel Cobie and Ledger Status into performing like monkeys 8 episodes of Up Only TV. It does not convey any sponsorship rights, and we are allowed to call you idiots for buying it or ignore you completely with 0 mentions of your existence during our episode season. We get to pick the guest, but if we like you, then we might ask you for some suggestions. Okay. So this was posted like I said a while back in May. It's been listed and not listed off and on. And it was relisted like 2 weeks ago. I did a little hunting here just because I was curious. So yesterday, Coinbase, or not the day before, Coinbase announced Brian Armstrong tweeted that he bought the NFT and then tweeted again that he burned it. And Cobie's response is, I'm too old to have a crypto podcast. I'm going to be out here looking like Gary Vee. So what this all turned out to be, which I was like, in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, there's more to this. There's more to this story. There's no way that a public company, if this was Binance, if this was pretty much anybody else in crypto, like literally any private company in crypto who just did this on a whim, I would not have been like, I would not have thought, oh, there's more to this. It could have just been like, we're just going to shoot our shot kind of thing. We have money to blow and we'll just shoot our shot, possible. But with a public company and fiduciary duty, I'm like, there's got to be more to this. And there was. So Coinbase has acquired Echo. So Cobie sort of left the podcasting world, started Echo, which is an on-chain capital raising platform. It's even when it started, there was a lot of like concerns around US regulatory issues that it wouldn't be able to take off because of that and things like that. But now in the current environment, this seems more and more to be a really good bet. And so Coinbase has acquired them for, I think it was 250 million, somewhere in that ballpark. And this is Cobie's main company. So this was part of the deal, essentially. And the podcast, the buying the NFT, was a marketing piece that worked brilliantly. I think he's still doing the 8 episodes.
Right.
But it wasn't
brilliant.
like on a whim. It wasn't like Coinbase was like, it's this morning. I feel like Brian Armstrong didn't wake up and go, I got 25 million burning a hole in my pocket. What am I going to do? Oh, you know what? That NFT I've been looking at. No. No. So this is really exciting, very interesting. I think there's Echo's very interesting in terms of their approach. I think that is a really good acquisition. And I'm excited to see I'm excited to see Cobie come back and do what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do, but it's going to be good. So, well, look out for that. All right. So that's who Cobie is, and that's what's going on there. Moving on. Actually, let me stop this video so it doesn't drain. Okay, moving on. We had an AWS outage as well, and this was V's comment. The ongoing AWS outage is causing issues with our wallet. You may see some errors while trying to use your wallets today. Until this is resolved, funds are safe, and you'll be able to use the wallet fully once AWS issues are resolved. Lots of comment in general, not specific to this, about how Web3 is a little too dependent on Web2 right now because a lot of things went down in the world as well, but also just like things like this. There were mini apps that were having a lot of problems, and it came down to mostly Vercel seemed to be, for Web3, seemed to be the core thing that a lot of people use that was running AWS, and that was a big problem. So Spotify, I was having trouble uploading to Spotify. Oh, did I even get our pods up? I don't think I got pods. I have to do that as well. I didn't get our last episode up on pods because it was not working for me. And I think it's working now. So I'll get that done today. Yeah, so that was interesting. And then V had said this, Farcaster, the social network, continued to work smoothly through the AWS outage despite running on AWS. A lot of credit goes to simple design of the system, which made it less reliant on parts of the AWS stack that failed. It's also easily distributable, and we can run validators on GCP in the future to prevent downtime. Lots of credit to Dynamite, Sanjay, and Adiapat for their work on this. And then down it said the Farcaster wallet had a few hours of trading downtime. The failure was that what we had reliance on specific services, which went down. We're making a lot of improvements here so that it doesn't happen again. So then there was a little bit of pushback on this that, hey, there were a lot of things that were down, but in general, it seemed to work pretty well compared to other things that were down absolutely, completely. So, and Adrian, I know you were looking at doing something different with our bot. And I don't know if this was related or no.
Unrelated.
Okay.
Totally unrelated. So
Okay.
all good.
So I saw you post something about like, I don't know, doing something new. And this from the Dynamite rolled out a new, faster pricing system for our wallet. Prices should be a lot more accurate and closer to real time. Please reply if you see any issues. By the way, I almost replied to this. At one point, all my balances were suddenly hidden, and I updated the app yesterday, and a couple things happened. One of the things was I was in immediate dark mode, and I was like, no, I can't. No. And then I, for some reason, all my balances were hidden. So I was like, do I have to go through and unhide them all? And then I finally realized that no, I just have to tap on the balance and it changes it all. But for some reason, I thought it was related to the outage. I didn't know what was going on. And it was just a weird little thing. So if for some reason this has happened to you, if you suddenly find yourself in dark mode, you can go to your settings and change that. If you suddenly find that your wallet balances aren't showing, click on the top bunch of asterisks and it should change them all back. I just forgot that part. So yeah, I was having a moment.
If you suddenly find the app won't open at all, go to the App Store and if you're not and update it.
Yeah, that was the other. I had a couple little issues that kept, and I was like, oh, I bet I'm not updated. And as soon as I updated, it was fine. So yeah, if you're having any problems and you don't have auto updates on, like me, I do that for many reasons. You can just make sure you have the most up to date. And this from V, deposit bonus update. We're paying out the first deposit bonuses this Wednesday. As a reminder, you get 1% each week for qualifying deposits for 10 weeks. Deposits qualify if they were sent in when the deposit program was open. So don't try now. You can check this by tapping on the USDC in your wallet. Deposits will be disqualified if we detect that a single person has created multiple accounts with no activity on the network for the sole purpose of farming rewards. About 25% of deposits are being disqualified under this criteria. And you'll get a notification and email tomorrow if this affects your account. So you should see that today. Finally, if you didn't qualify for the deposit bonus and you are an active user, we are working on a new iteration of the program to help you earn for keeping USDC on Farcaster. More on this soon. So very cool. Good to see different things rolling out like this. I did not get my stuff in time, so I'm out. I didn't make it. And also, I spend my USDC. This is the problem. Like, I don't.
It's the Farconomy.
It's the Farconomy.
Yeah.
I can't. I do okay when it's elsewhere, but when it's on Farcaster, it's a problem. So I don't know what to do about that. So I don't really want to put it over there because I literally had to move some over last night, and we'll tell you.
What have you bought this week? Anything good?
Yes, I bought something yesterday with crypto.
Are we not talking about that yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
I bought candles this week.
Oh, did you? Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I have mine. Oh, it's too far away. I can't grab it. Okay, let's dive into some more news. We are going to get to the rebrand. I'm just saving that for the end here. This from Base, from the Base team, this is from Wilson Cusack, excited to wear a new hat. Came back to Coinbase to work on Base because I had a feeling it could be the defining work of my career, and it hasn't disappointed. Onwards, lots to do. So if you don't know Wilson, he was with Coinbase way back when, and then went out on his own for a little bit, and then came back to work on Base. It's right from day one or pre-day one. He was, working on the developer stack early on. Jesse used to joke about Wilson being locked up in a basement, working on things when they were before they launched officially. I know Wilson through Nouns. So, by the way, early Nouns, ridiculous people, like just ridiculously brilliant, amazing devs and just incredible people. Anyway, Wilson's one of them. And so this is exciting. There's also going to be some new product lead. A new product lead is going to come in, I guess. But he's now head of product for the whole chain. So, and he bravely said on Twitter, you can tag him with your complaints. So
don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Tag away. But our recommendation is make it constructive. And this from Aneri, just launched Aneri on Base app. Why? Because I believe anyone should be able to earn from what they create. I've spent several years building products for creators, and coins are by far the most useful, most powerful creator tool I've seen. I'm committed to continuing to onboard and empower creators and their communities to earn together. I'll share more soon on learnings and where we're headed from here. But for now, here's a first look at this experience in the Base app. So she launched her token, and that was it. So I was like, okay. I thought she already had a token. So I was like a little confused, but I guess she didn't. I guess she hadn't launched.
Okay, so could she have done her Zora one? Like on her, people had been launching the Zora creator coins. This is now on the Base app, and Base app is rolling them out permissionedly. So it's kind of thoughtfully, this is really only the second person who's been able to launch a creator coin
it's not
on the Base app.
Okay, directly. So I think this is where I'm confused. So I saw Nikki do hers. By the way, I don't know if you remember this when we were at Barclays, and I went, is that Nikki walking by? And I went, oh, I know her from Miami and through Nouns. It was Nikki. And it was Nikki from Miami who launched a token. So I'm a little, I think there hasn't been a lot of clarity on this, because to me, it felt like, isn't it just the Zora creator coin? What's the difference? And I feel like they haven't clarified the difference. And I guess that's where I'm confused. I'm very confused. So that's why I thought Aneri already had a token, but I guess she didn't. So this is specifically through the Base app.
Through the Base app, yeah.
Okay. But it is a Zora token.
I imagine, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's a little confusing. But anyway, okay.
Zora the protocol or Zora the app? Base the chain or Base the app? Farcaster the protocol?
I can't.
Or Farcaster the app?
I can't anymore.
So it's, yeah.
All the things. All right. We've got a few more things to chat about, but I think I'm going to hold off on those. 1 second. And I think I'm going to skip over to our rebrand chat and then bring up Zaal, and we'll circle back to some builders stuff in a little bit. There's too many things. There's too many things today. Okay, because we gotta just touch on this real quick, because we had a big rebrand, which you can see in the back of our backgrounds today. We are sporting the new arch. There's a lot of feelings. Feelings is a good word about this, and mostly by Mike Damaris, Mike Rainbow. No, just kidding. He's very excited, actually. He thinks it looks more like pants. He's never been happier. Okay, here we go. This from Dan yesterday from DWR. Today, we're starting the rollout of the new Farcaster brand. We worked with Primary Studio to refresh the brand in late September. We have a new logo, wordmark, typography, colors, and brand elements. Later today, you'll see the new logo on the mobile app and everywhere over the next coming weeks. So that did roll out yesterday, and we have a new arch, new everything, new color. So here's the new logo and the old logo. Okay. And then we had a lot of other things in here. This was a little peek at explorations, essentially things they can use for marketing in different ways. And we had seen some of this already. They had posted some similar things. There's a public Figma if you are looking for the logo to be able to use that, or the old one. They're both there. And they have also the hex color and all that kind of stuff if you're looking to be precise. This also from Dan, as a reminder, wait, oh, that's not it. As a reminder, I designed the original logo and picked the purple. The attachment to it is as a function of time, familiarity, what you associate with Farcaster with. The logo was a modified CC0 stock icon, and the purple was terrible to use in product, especially on mobile. So that was a big part of it. We saw that when they went to dark mode, there was a lot of issues with the purple. So doing the darker purple was a better approach. Oh, I guess I already had shared that. I thought I had a different one there. This from Blockheim, who kind of gets into a little bit more on the design decisions. Thought I'd shed a bit more light on some of the design decisions here. A brand system has jobs. Be clear at a glance, feel approachable, scale from tiny icons to big moments, work in product, build trust, and still carry personality. The new purple is not just louder, it's tuned for contrast, dark mode, and print, which the old purple didn't handle well. The arch is designed to hold up in different environments, tiny avatars, low bandwidth screenshots, decks, ads, print, etc. Fewer internal edges mean fewer chances to break at small or large scale. We're bringing the curves of the arch into the system more consistently. When those shapes echo across the logo, buttons, icons, and imagery, the brand feels familiar without being loud. We introduced a secondary palette for the first time. Before, everything leaned on one purple. Now we have a hierarchy, contrast, flexibility, and we avoid purple fatigue. We plan to explore motion in product and marketing. It is new for us, but the goal is for motion to feel functional and consistent, not distracting. The arch and curves in the new system will guide how it comes to life. The system is more flexible but consistent, consists of small set of elements that can be used in different ways without things feeling messy or off-brand. Remix better than chaos. Fewer choices, faster shipping, more consistency. As a reminder, the brand is a living system, not a finished artifact. It will keep evolving as the product and community do. So keep the feedback coming. And this from Tanny. Come on. We're going to have a lot of fun. Some experiments along the new lines. So this was some of the things they were playing with. And yeah. Okay. How you feel, Adrian?
About the new brand? About the branding? Yeah. It's great. Yeah. It's great. Here's why. It feels a little more grown up. I love everybody's, like, for all the hate on it, I love how Blockham came in like as the adult and was like, it was like,
listen, people,
like, here's all the things you're not considering.
Yeah.
Like the grown up in the room, mic drop.
Yeah.
You know, my thought is people really don't like change. We get attached to brands. Yeah, like we love the old logo. Great. I think it's fun. Obviously, one of the reasons I also love a rebrand is because it gives a chance for the timeline to meme. It does. And it's fun. We have a few of those to share. It's fun. I'll just say, like, the color, 100%, no issues. As we'll see from the memes, the arch, I need time. I just need time. That's fine. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. And I am very critical of rebrands, but I'm critical when they're just bad. Like when they're just like unnecessary bad. Jaguar, Cracker Barrel. There's certain ones
Where's
that
the
I'm like,
soul behind them? Where's the
you've lost
personality?
exactly.
Yeah,
like they don't make sense. Twitter it never made sense. Sorry. Never gonna let that one go. You throw away a really well-known brand. And then to the point, how many people still call it Twitter? Anyway, like it didn't feel thought out. Like when it feels thought out and it feels connected and it feels like it makes sense, then I'm not as critical. But so I'm not really critical of this. I think the colors are fantastic. I think all the direction looks great. I'm just not completely sold on the arch, but I don't absolutely hate it either. You know, it's kind of like I'm in between.
Same.
I did wear this today.
Nice.
Yeah, I did wear this. So that's where I'm at. Let us know in the chat where you guys at. So a few other things on this because there was just a lot of memeing. Jaguar's rebrand was absolutely horrendous, like the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and you know they spent millions of dollars on it. I prefer the old logo. The arch is weird. I think the rebrand definitely feels like something over. I mean, it's pretty much 50-50 split. It feels like pretty close. This from Ted, and now I can't unsee it. By the way, it looks like a squatty potty to me. If you don't know, it's like a little stool. Yeah, I felt that as soon as she said it, I'm like, yep, I see it, and now I can't unsee it. But overall, still like it. Golf divot. Yep, repair tool.
Squatty potty's not a stool, by the way. And I'm sorry to say, I know what it is.
I know it. I mean, it looks like a squatty potty. It does look like that. But I was giving context if people don't know what that is.
It's okay.
Golf divot, yes, as well. Oops, I think I already got that one. Mike Damaris probably had the most fun yesterday with the rebrand, or Monday. If this would ever come up, come on. So for those who don't know, Mike has been talking about that the arch looks like pants since it was launched. And there is now a pants channel. I think he had a pants. I thought he had a pants channel, but I guess maybe he just added it. So yeah, this was in response to JP Frenetto. Thank you, Mike Damaris. Now each time I open it, I don't see arches anymore. And you are all welcome. And by the way, if you've never really looked into Mike's PFP, there you go. So that was during the farts moment. But yes, he's already made the original arch pants. I don't know if he'll be rebranding as well. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. This was also fun. So this was trending on Twitter. Farcaster launches new logo and purple brand identity. Not really. So let's explain Twitter trending for a moment.
Okay, because also, and I also saw a Neri cast about her thing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, we need a little moment. Twitter has personalized trending searches.
Hit him with it, Adrian.
Okay, so Twitter, when you go to the search and they show you trending topics, it is personalized to what your interests are. It is not global. Global Twitter is not talking about the Farcaster rebrand. But if you have been shown to be someone who likes Farcaster or talks about Farcaster, engages with people who are in the Farcaster circle, Twitter will tell you Farcaster rebrand is trending.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So thank you for that, because I was like, I don't think that's what's happening.
This is the way the internet is going, which is,
but for many people who follow Farcaster, you might have seen this as trending when you jumped in there. This was funny from Miguel Garest, and it doesn't move, by the way. I thought that was really funny because most of his NFTs and his images are moving. This one's dead. The arch is dead. So I thought that was really funny. There is a ponder poll that does not want to show for me right now. There is a ponder poll about the arch, so you can decide if which one is your fave. I haven't looked to see if this, I don't know if it ended yet. Let me see if it's over. Let's see how it's going. It's thinking. Come on. All right, we'll come back to this. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, we had the old one won. Okay.
I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer, and I just have a problem with like predictive polls. I just want pure poll. I want to be able to answer
just want a regular poll.
purely.
We have those.
No one talks about them anymore because you can't gamble on them. Okay. And
but I mean, they do
the world has moved. Yeah, but no one cares about them. And the world has moved on. And I saw that poll and I'm like, okay, I'm going to answer it. And I was like, no, I'm not, because what you're really asking me to do is bet on the outcome. And I don't want to do that because I'm not a gambler. And I love you, Ponder.
Oh, that's funny. Oh no, I just realized someone's gone. Okay. My favorite cast is gone. That's a bummer. I don't know why. That's weird. This is really funny. If you don't get this, this is like the Cracker Barrel rebrand. This is missing, and this is in Carter's eyes. In Carter has a old school arch tattoo from Farcon. So that's really funny, and it's gone. Also, okay, this is really, I don't know how many people notice this, but I went and looked at the new, because I was updating my app. I looked at the new images on the App Store. And this one was really funny if you know. If you don't know, it's just a normal like screenshot of a chat. But for me, like, it was hilarious because it says, "Hey, hi, are you going to the conference next week?" And this is supposedly DWR answering or talking. I am. When do you arrive? My flight lands on Thursday morning. Want to grab coffee near the venue? I'd love that. 9 a.m. at Java Express. Perfect. See you then. If you know Dan, you know he doesn't go to conferences. That's what made it funny to me. Like, I was actually laughing when I first read this. I'm like, this is hilarious. And it was so then just randomly CJ had posted an image from her morning. She was talking about the spelling of her name on this cup, which is SIJ. Which is really funny. Oh, you found it.
Sorry. Oh. Yeah, sorry. And I thought I could share a screen without it changing hers.
That's okay. Oh, you found it. Amazing. Yeah. So there's Carter's tattoo. Hilarious.
That's an actual tattoo.
Actual tattoo. And he's like, what do I do with this now? So funny. So funny. All right. Let me go back to this one.
I can get
oops. There you go. So anyway, and then realized she went to Java Express, which I just thought was funny. And then if you saw this from Horsefacts, now you know what the heck it was referring to. Come to Java Express at 9 a.m. if you want an ass kicking. It's just funny. This, and then, okay, there was also a lot of discussion about the language that was on these screenshots in the App Store, because it said sign up requires in-app purchase. And I'm like, the only reason they put that, like, I didn't see Dan's comment about this, but I saw this and I was in a discussion about it. And I'm like, the only reason that makes sense is if they had to. Like, they just had to. And yes, they had to. And he did comment somewhere else that yes, they had to put this language on there. And then Christopher had mentioned, fun fact, so he's talking about Uno, adding this disclaimer is a major reason why we couldn't make to the App Store, and the gatekeepers refused to tell us what was non-compliant. Technically, every cast is paid content. So therefore, that's why Uno had to add this type of disclaimer as well. So it's, yeah, you have to do this to get in the App Store. And it makes sense also thinking back to when Dan said something about we're going to be adding more crypto features, etc. Some people are going to be limited as to where they are. So they must have just figured out all this was happening. So this was funny from Lynx. This logo is fine. This logo is fine. This is the midwit meme. No, whereas the previous logo evoked the Roman Empire, thus representing the intellectual user base. The new logo looks like a soulless spaceship, and the purple hurts my precious peepers. Funny. This from Chase Summer. My computer's struggling. Is the Farcaster token dropping next? No, a sufficiently decentralized rodeo is my bet. So the pants, it does kind of look like the bow-legged cowboy walking as well. And then I loved this from Estot, with the DGen hat, the base square, and the pants. So there you go. All right. We have a few more notes, but we're going to circle back to them after we chat with Zaal. So let me get, I have to get some other things up so I get to talk with him. And we're going to bring Zaal up to talk about the Zaal, and then we'll circle back to some more builder stuff at the end, as well as some CastOut announcements. But here is Zaal. Welcome.
How are we doing, guys? I just want to say thank you and appreciate the opportunity. I'm super excited to be here with you guys.
We're so happy to have you, and you have lots of love in the chat too.
Yeah, I made sure to get the squad up and ready at this early time for my Pacific Coasters. I don't know if any of them are up, but my East Coasters.
Sorry, guys. Sorry if you're on the West Coast. This is an East Coast, and you're poor time zone today.
I moved from Portland when I started my blockchain journey. I moved from Portland, Oregon to the East Coast, and I noticed a significant difference in my crypto usage of just being online, of how different it was.
Yeah, totally. And we, we always try to adjust and things like that when we have guests who are on the West Coast, but the earlier time in general works better for us.
Yeah, me too.
That's why we started doing just one later show a week, just to give the West Coasters a moment. I have to shout out your hold on, hopefully it's coming up. You have posted wearing the shirt a few times, and we appreciate you for sharing that always. So
I have
thank
one
you.
of me asleep with my girlfriend on the boat on the way back of one of the trips, and my parents caught it, and I was thinking about posting that, so I'll try and get it in at the end, so we could definitely share that out.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I also want to just kind of level set and talk about let's start with the beginning. What is the Zaal or Zaal?
For sure. So, I mean, if we're going to start at the beginning, we got to start a little bit earlier.
Okay, bring it.
So, like I said, I was in Oregon for a few years, and that is where the initial start of my crypto journey really came in, when I was down the rabbit hole. But for me, where it all started with understanding the challenges with the current financial system was January 28th, 2021, when brokers stopped allowing the buying of a certain stock. That's what got me into and interested in why you could sell but not buy a stock, even though there should be someone else on the other side. And it just got me interested and curious in what we could do to potentially change the future of if that was going to happen again. So I've been kind of interested in that for 3 years. GameStop is actually what onboarded me initially into Web3. I got the GameStop wallet, the GameStop marketplace, both of them completely deprecated. And that was six-ish months before I went down.
Zaal, were you active in Wall Street Bets Reddit subreddit?
I was a lurker. I'm not a poster on Reddit. Okay. I'm a vet. Reddit is my favorite social media. That's also kind of why I think I like Farcaster a lot, especially the channel side of things, because it was the first thing that I felt since Reddit came and got that energy of the I like social media of communities and topics, as opposed to following people and individuals. Just that vibes with my opinion of how social media should be, and how we should enjoy it a little bit more than putting people on this parasocial relationship versus on Reddit. I don't know most of the people I see posts every single day. Right. I just don't know who they are. So it's actually cool for new curation. If you're looking at social media, we look at all the people we see daily on Farcaster. So yeah, Reddit was my go-to, was definitely my highest screen time for a long time, until Farcaster is now taking that equation in 2025.
And GameStop did make a jump into Web3, because somebody asked the dude said GameStop had a wallet. They also they had an NFT marketplace. Like I had a student who was deep down the rabbit hole, and he was so insistent that GameStop was going to be that was going to be his generational wealth. And I'm like, okay, like you might want to diversify there, buddy.
Well, when you guys had Ryan
yeah.
Gaggy on, I was like, oh my goodness, I know Ryan from my first intro to Web3 because he was the GameStop like lead for them. And he actually told me he was like the only person in Web3 doing all the community management and how challenging that was.
I didn't know that. That's hilarious.
You just deprecate everything and you're just like there to, tell the community what's up, right? So it was really cool to see him on your guys' podcast. And then I reached out to him, connected with him, and that was my like comeback full circle moment. But kind of a little bit after that, I saw ironically enough, my religion is a very small religion, so we don't have a lot of people around the world. It's called Zoroastrianism. It's one of the first monotheistic religions. But basically, I went to a conference where people from all over the world came from our religion to talk, very similar to crypto conferences, actually. And someone there said this is the first Zoroastrian NFT project. And I was like, oh, okay, I know about NFTs, but like the classic, like I've never seen a legitimate reason for me to get one. And this was, very simple. Like you buy it and you get the pass for the membership. And she was very focused on how we could help loving relationships because she didn't see that from her parents and she wanted to build that. So it was essentially couples therapy is really expensive. You get 3 minimum free sessions if you buy the NFT. And I was like, okay, I see the utility. That's cool. I asked her a little bit for more info. She connected me with her brother, who was the NFT person and created the smart contracts. He gave me 3 things to research. And then from that day on, it's very much down the rabbit hole every single day. I've been getting
I think this is the first time I've heard somebody be onboarded to crypto via their religion. This is a first.
Right?
This is definitely a first.
So like, and she honestly gave me the mutual connection to one of the best communities I joined, which was the best communities I've realized are these hybrid communities that have local communities but are part of Web3. So they can leverage the international marketing, but they actually meet in person. So you have just like an additional layer of verification. That's where I felt like I made the most like strides and improvements because so all of this was February of 23. So, 2 months after the bottom of the bear, I was very lucky. When I initially kind of was thinking about Web3 stuff, it was beginning 22. So it was that top of the bull, but, I was dealing with my own health issues and dealing with that. And, it was a little bit of God saying, wait a little bit and join a little bit later, because when I did join, all of the folks that were there were unbelievably helpful with wanting to help support the tech and the journey of how can we build this decentralized network. And that definitely helped improve my abilities really well, especially being in Portland, Oregon. I was part of PDX DAO. That's what got me starting to think about DAOs. And that was one of 2 failed DAOs I've been a part of, which taught me so much about
only 2.
Exactly, right? Well, so I joined in 23 when people were already like DAOs are dead, and I was still trying to do it. But PDX DAO gave me that real opportunity to meet people who have been in the space, pre-ETH, right? Like this, like long-term people who have been trying to like find this vision and continue it through. Not a lot of the people who came in 2021 of the people I've been working with are a lot more on the musician and artist side. And a lot of those people came in from the NFT boom. So they have a little bit of a different ethos. And yeah, I think the Portland group gave me the ability to say, okay, I can ask all these people all my dumb questions. I was, for the first time in a while, one of the dumbest people in the room, which is my favorite thing to be because you learn so much. Same. And being in that room and just asking questions and having people excited about what I was thinking about made me like passionate about pushing forward. My goal, essentially, I got onboarded in 2023. I spent all of 2023 doing my due diligence, joining a bunch of different music communities, because for 3 years at that point since college, I'd been working with a musician. He was someone I met in college, saw the creation of music, and it was the first time I'd ever thought of creation instead of consumption. And little did I know that would start my entrepreneurial journey, but helping support him as a musician was the first step in understanding how to become a founder for helping creatives. So ultimately, I guess we'll bring it back to the Zaal at the end of 2023. The other failed DAO that I was a part of, it was just me and Candy Toybox, who's down there in the chat.
Hey, Candy
we were the last 2 people, and she was like, you know what? And at one point it was 150 people. I joined when there was only 5. And she was like, you know what? Let's attack your thing. She's a mother of 3 with, at that point, a 6-month-old. So she was like, you know, I love everything I do, but I don't have the bandwidth to be like the founder. But she's an unbelievably hard worker, and she does a lot of the design stuff. I got my electroengineering degree, so I'm math, science, analytics focused. So her coming in and taking all that design work after 3+ years really took a lot of that load off my back. And that's kind of what started the delegation process and the start of the Zaal. So we like to say the Zaal is all about bringing the profit margin, the data, and the IP rights back to independent artists. That's why we're here. My goal is ultimately to build open source tools for musicians to use to get 100% of the profit margin. And to be honest with you, then no one can kind of beat us, because they can't come in and say, you know, we'll middleman for less. So I love that part of the space. I'm excited about the protocols, especially everything here with Farcaster. That's what got me super excited here. And it's the first social network that I've got the @Zaal username. So that was a big one for me, because I've been trying to get the Instagram one for 8+ years. But yeah, so that's kind of like what started the Zaal. And in the beginning of 2024 is when we were a collective and working on progressively decentralizing into a DAO.
Amazing. And on Farcaster, you guys have been making some moves. So you got a goal here. So this is Q4, our Farcaster season for the next 13 weeks. The Zaal is running an experiment. Push members into the leaderboard, top 10. Aim for a top 3. Prove collective play is better than solo grind. We're calling it Zaal, like Cabal. A ready player one style clan for the internet. Join the Zaal channel and group chat to be a part of it. And then there's a full write-up here on Paragraph that kind of dives into what you're trying to accomplish here. So you guys can take a peek at that and learn more. And you've been pretty, in terms of very active in terms of like doing newsletters and updates and things like that, as well as you started streaming on, I know you're streaming on Retake. Are you streaming anywhere else like at the same time, or?
Yeah, so I'm actually working. One of our musicians spent this year, 2025, locking in on streaming. He spent 8 months after building an X community, traveling the world, and was like, you know what, X isn't it. Let me figure out what I'm going to do. On Jan 1st, he decided every single day I'm going to stream. That's what got me interested and excited about streaming, especially seeing him build his community and some of our people kind of start to transition to Twitch. So he was pushing that Twitch angle. I'm still seeing how we can onboard Web2 creators there, because there's actually a lot of cool streamers over there. But I'm also streaming to Retake, recently Pine Tree. So shout out Android 16. And then I'm trying to go everywhere, a little bit of everything. Flix.fun, rebranded from OmniFlix recently as well. We're streaming over there. We're also streaming to YouTube and X. But the challenge is like all of the chats commingling, all of these other things. So I've been locking in on how to help.
Let's talk about that for a second. Yeah, because I think there's a lot of new streaming platforms coming out for Web3. We do, like, Retake's been around for a couple months. You have Pine Tree now. You have Zora that's starting streaming. There's Den that's supposed to be coming out soon. And then you have the Web2 ones. And here's the thing that's challenging that a lot of people don't realize is that if you're using a streaming software like StreamYard, we can see all the comments coming in from certain platforms. So we can see everything that's coming in from Twitter, for example. And then we can see the things that are coming in from YouTube. And if we were on Twitch, we would see those as well. But if they're like these other platforms that aren't directly integrated, that aren't essentially Web2 ones, we can't see those comments unless we're in the native app. So it becomes really challenging for the streamers to be able to jump into all these different platforms. And that's the other reason, like we're set up to stream to retake, we're set up to stream to abstract. And I stopped streaming it to abstract because I'm like, I'm not giving that audience enough attention. And I feel like, what's the point if you're not like actually interacting? And it's really hard. So when you're doing all these different ones, how are you managing that? Are you just focusing on what's coming in that you can see, or are you going into each individual like streaming app to like interact?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. That's like been the conversation and challenge of Onaji B and I have been working on that. He's been rocking out the Twitch side. I've been trying to take the angle of multi-streaming. And the challenge that you're saying is anything that's a custom RTMP stream that you're bringing in as a third party, like you're just bringing in the stream URL and the stream key. They aren't set up for comments to automatically come in, because when you log in with a Twitch and X or a YouTube on something like StreamYard, you're actually allowing permissions for them to like connect to your account. So it's a little bit bigger of a permission that you're giving, so they can do more with that. So we do have to have each native app up. That's one of the challenges I'm working on solving. I've been seeing some live streamers build their own open source tools to bring in those chats into an OBS style thing. So from OBS, you can see everything maybe, and then display it on the screen. That's kind of where I see the potential. It's not there right now because a lot of these platforms aren't completely open source with the ability to do that. So that's why I'm really excited about Pinetree working with Android 16 and supporting them in making those type of integrations more compatible. One of the reasons I really like Pinetree is that they don't force you to make a token to stream. Like that is one of my hesitations with retake. I'm not going to lie. Because like I hadn't created a token period. And then I streamed on retake and I was like, oh shit. Okay. I guess we created
many such cases.
Because the Zaal, how we work is we have a illiquid soul-bound governance token. So you can't buy and sell it. You can't send it out of your wallet. You just earn it. And you earn it by joining in our weekly meetings every single week on Mondays. But you can join in at any time as long as we have 4 people participating. You share about your week in a group of 6 or less. Between 4 to 6 people. You share about what you've been doing, what you've been contributing to the ecosystem in the week. And then the group of 6 reaches consensus on who's done the most for the ecosystem. And everyone gets a little bit of Zaal just by participating. So that's how we've built our structure to build social capital, where I've seen a lot of DAOs fail because they're focused on financial capital first as opposed to social capital. And when you do that and you have people, buying in it, 18 months before something happens, and then they're just like not as excited about it, versus with our system, 18 months later, the only people who have good governance are the people who've been participating for 18 months, not just someone who bought a token early 18 months ago. So that's been our focus, is like, how can I support creators in learning about tokenomics and learning about the challenges and structures that are there, good workflows, bad workflows, just like knowledge sharing as a whole and networking is our ultimate goal. So the Zaal itself is all a community, and then we are creating an incubator within it of different projects where anyone with Zaal tokens can request a proposal and essentially say, I think this is a good idea for a project, a brand, a song, an idea, and I need help making it happen. I am a content creator. I am a developer. I need help with X, Y, and Z. And we have other people that can kind of come in and support that. So let me pull up.
And I had just noticed, I'm like, how do we have people chatting from Twitch? And then I realized so we have the option for our guests to be able to add 2 of their own locations. So this is the first time GM Farcaster's ever been on Twitch. There you go.
We're live streaming to my channel as well.
Hi Twitch.
Like, why not?
How you doing out there? I've considered it a few times, like, should we be, because it is so integrated into StreamYard, it would be easy, but I just wasn't sure.
It's really good for clipping and sharing to other social medias. It is actually like I was like super against it. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like going backwards to me. Like I've been watching Twitch streamers and using Discord since 2016 because I've been a gamer through and through. So like that's why I loved Web3, and it was really easy for me to jump in. And everyone's like all upset about
everybody was already
like, yes,
they were talking on
more
Discord.
I love it because I had created so many different channels and tried to like, oh, I'm gonna create a Discord community. I'm gonna become a moderator, and they tried it a bunch of times, but never had like the people. And now we have all the people but no organizations. That's great. I love it. But this is a little bit more of what I was explaining, some of the different projects within the Zaal. So we're leveraging HAT's protocol to create an on-chain organizational chart. So you can see at the top that the ztalent.eth owns the Zaal as a whole, and then our governance council is where all of our projects are under. So in these first two projects, these are asynchronous projects that anyone can kind of join and just show what they are. So this first one is we don't have I haven't been too active with getting people on here, but just randomly from HAT's protocol, 66 people have like grabbed the entrepreneur thing over the last like year and a half of just like randomly seeing it. I have never pushed this, don't know who a lot of these addresses are, but I will 100% reward them in the future at some point. I don't know when or why, but I will. And then like we also have a location you can kind of show where you are, but then every single one of these other projects is managed by a manager. So we have our Zaal fractals, as I had mentioned earlier. That's our weekly governance meetings. And then one of our first projects from our collective, before we were even a DAO, was Wave Wars. One of my community members came in and said, there's not a lot of competitive energy in the music space. Let's make music battles. So we started our V1 with on-chain music battles. Very simply, like you buy a $1 NFT and it's a super vote. And from that super vote, you get an option to be one of the 3 judges that makes a difference in the program. And from that, on our 5th episode, someone came to us and said, I think it was like $15 they made. They were like, this is the most money I've ever made in music, like more than ever on streaming. And that realization for us was like, oh, wow, we really need to we have something here we can really lock in. So our founder, developer, and musician, Hurricane Ike, who's the leader of this wallet right there. He started to develop. He was not a developer. He also has an electrical engineering degree with me, but he isn't a coder and just learned everything.
Amazing. Oop, did we lose you? Up there you are.
Up there we go.
We lost you for a second.
And in the span of about 7 months to a year, the last 3 months was testing and auditing. He built our current Wave Wars application that we are working on right now. And I'll switch over to a video real quick of how it works. But essentially, we have a temporal token that lasts during the round of the battle. So each time we spawn up a new battle, 2 tokens are spawned for each artist. 1 per artist, and people can trade on the artist. Because we built everything else, 1% of the volume goes right into the artist's wallet, not at the end of the battle, but instantly while you're trading. And essentially, at the end of the battle, whichever pool has more wins the soul vote, and the soul vote is one of 3 different votes. We also have our human judges that are also participating, and then we also have our Twitter poll vote where everyone can participate. So
very cool.
That's kind of how the battles go now. And the cool thing is we built everything in-house, so we actually have the ability to give that profit margin right to the artist. So it's our version of creating a new vertical for musicians to show off their catalog and earn money. Potentially we have a very small community and have been doing about 8 to 10 battles so far. And we're already getting, tens of thousands of Spotify streams worth of fiat or, crypto actually sent Solana technically sent to them. And essentially at the end of the battle, you withdraw whatever your artist tokens are, they get burnt and you get them back into Solana. If you're on the losing side, you still get 50% of whatever was in there. So you still have some more to play with for the next battle. And that's kind of how we've set up Wave Wars as another project and opportunity for musicians to get paid in the space.
Very cool. the token battle thing reminds me, Unlonely did, I don't know if you remember that, Adrian, where you launched 2 tokens at the same time and essentially like only one survived at the end. And I was like, it was a good idea, just didn't get the right execution. And to me, this makes a lot of sense with the music and having that be the battle. And that's a really cool approach to that. And I feel like we've had like the music industry has been so like lined, it's been like a perfect industry to be disrupted by crypto, but I feel like we just haven't quite got there yet. But it's like primed, right? And I mean, even Snoop put, you know, death row on chain. So it's but it's really, I love seeing that. That's very cool. I like that. I like the idea of the wave battles. That's really cool.
The music on chain space is absolutely insane. It's got its own market, which is crazy. And yeah, I think for me, the music on chain space hasn't got the light of day that the visual art space got in 2021. And music has potentially even more of a reason to want to be on chain in terms of like lights, all these other millions of different things that are challenges with the traditional music industry today. And I think the challenge in crypto has always been either musicians trying to do everything on their own and like thinking that they can and getting money and funding to do that, but not doing it like a startup. And then you get music industry professionals who say that they're here for musicians and people, but then are like, okay, but I'm also still going to take a cut off of every creator. So it's like this weird conundrum where like those people are for profits. The artists are way too much for artists and can't understand that there needs to be a business. So like there is a middle ground where a lot of people have been working towards, but it just gets shut out by like headlines, whether it be crypto, music industry, or both.
It's really hard to disrupt industries, period. Like any kind of industry, especially one that has such a, you know, like a hold. But it's possible. It's just, I think we haven't found the right, you're trying, you have to interrupt it's the distribution. It's distribution. It's always distribution that becomes the problem. But I feel like today artists definitely have more control over and more options to go independently and succeed. It's but anything you can do to help with that, I think, is amazing.
It's never been more possible before to make it successful without a label than it is today. And I think that's the coolest thing about this space, especially like my offer has always been to like any musician or creative out there. Not only I'll build you a website and help you build a smart contract, but I'll show you how to do it so you can do it on your own.
That's awesome.
And replicate that. And like that's like the biggest thing you can tell a Web 2 person that like doesn't understand anything about the space is like not only can like we build like a custom website for me that's like whatever I want, but then also like I can keep on iterating on that on my own. And I think like teaching them that like not all developers, like just like you had that experience with mini apps, like you don't need to be a full-fledged developer to just get something hacked up and started, right? And once you get that idea going, if you get it to 80-95%, and then you give that to a developer to tweak up and make, you know, good workflows in these other pieces, it's like it's a lot easier of a lift for them as well. Sometimes, you know, if you don't do a great job with your vibe coding, is a whole different story. But that's like part of the like understanding how to like. I mean, all these software engineers that are augmenting their coding with AI have learned these new strategies on how to prompt all of it. So it's a really interesting space as a whole. And I see Candy Toybox came in here and said, come judge the finals. So yeah, we let whoever comes up to our Twitter space, whoever's kind of up first, come be the judges for the human judges. So anyone is welcome to come in. We love getting that community support. We're really focused on how we can leverage our community. And right now we're a team of 3, me, Hurricane Ike, and Candy Toybox. And my goal in the next month while we're here on Farcaster is actually to build out the Wave Wars Creator DAO, especially using tools like Empire Builder, Retake, and some of the others that I've been seeing on here, and more to help create a monetization and another like treasury where we can just pay out creators that are supporting the cause. And now it's like back to this whole DAO versus company and like how to manage all of that. But I love the whole DAO conversation. I'm really interested in it. I don't think it's even gotten, I know, you know, from the Nouns DAO side, you've got your own space. I'm actually recently been been pushing a lot for the Nouns DAO Africa squad to get a little bit more light out there. So definitely, if anyone's interested, they're like one of the more active other communities other than Little Nouns, and it's really cool to see like energy of like a DAO that like was not having a lot of participation, and people were just like, hey, like we have this structure here, we have this here, we just need some more like participation. And then people came in and participated, and they're doing a really good job with like starting to onboard new folks from Nigeria, starting to onboard and create some of these lessons and these lesson plans. And it's really fun to just like see some resurgence in something like that, where it's just a decentralized entity that's permissionless, that people can jump in at any point and come and support.
And yeah, and I know Zaal from Little Nouns, so I just changed out the logo there. Give the Little Nouns a little bit of love there. And so one last thing before we let you go. Are you playing CastOut?
I definitely am. That was my like, I think biggest like push to getting more around Farcaster. Farcon, randomly out of nowhere, I was in a Little Nouns chat talking about Little Nouns funding, and they told me that Ben Lasco was doing a House of Nouns event. So I talked to him, chatted with him a little bit. They weren't going to do a speaking session, but he was like, you know, would love to have you speak if we end up figuring it out. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I didn't know anything about Farcon other than that. So I was like, I applied for a ticket, didn't get a ticket. And I was like, you know what? I'm going anyways. It's New York. I'm blessed that I have friends there that I can stay with. And it was the best experience of my life. It was the first conference I had gone to where I actually earned enough to have said made a profit as opposed to spending because of the On-Chain Creator House.
Cool.
I was able to earn two of my first like bounties ever in the space, and I was like, wow, this is cool. It was on my birthday on May 1st this year too, which was really cool. That's when I got this shirt.
Shout out Humpy.
All the amazing folks out there, and it was just like that experience really got me back into Farcaster, back into understanding why Farcaster is so important, why decentralized social is so important. And I'm excited in the future. My goal and the reason I'm so like invested right now in Farcaster is I want to eventually build a music client that for our community, for Zaal people to interact with the Farcaster protocol, something that is musician first and something that they can leverage as a way to like be on the music industry on Farcaster, right? So that's for the next bear run. You know, we're here to just like do all the studying and the due diligence right now and see how, you know, all these platforms work their challenges out right now. And, you know, we're there to help take the models of what's worked and understand from people and take those lessons from other people.
And I'm excited to have the Zaal tribe. It's going to be fun. So I'm really excited to have the Zaal tribe participating. We're going to talk more about that at the end of this show. Zaal, we've got a few more things we got to cover, so we're going to let you go. This has been incredible. It's been great to chat with you and get to know more about the Zaal. Last like shout outs or anything you have coming up that you definitely want to highlight real quick?
Yeah, I'm just going to shout you guys out. Like, I have loved being a part of watching and community here in GM Farcaster. Meeting you guys in person was a big part of that. And like, honestly, the Ryan Kagi special was big for me. I'm not gonna lie, because it was like that. Oh,
that's amazing!
Like the Spider-Man thing, and that was like what really got me like excited about you guys' guests. Because sometimes I would watch the news and then like skip over the guests because I was so behind on my podcast. But now I don't, because every single guest is amazing.
You never know.
So no, I just want to shout you guys out.
Now that he is a guest, he wants to encourage everybody not to skip the guest parts.
Yes, exactly.
But I love that, and I love that. I have to I'll have to make sure we tag Ryan in today's show because he'll love to hear that. And
what is Ryan's username again?
I think it's RKagi, RKAGY. Yeah, I think it's RKagi. And that's the base creators in the creators, if you guys are not familiar, but we've had them on a couple times. They've been amazing supporters of the show as well. So, Zaal, thanks so much.
Thank you guys for
being
having me
here with
on.
us. It's been a pleasure. It's been a
Season
pleasure.
4, Super excited.
Season 4.
And
the second episode of season 4. Amazing.
Thank you guys for having me on. The thumbnail was really cool. The animated thumbnail with my logo. I thought that was really cool.
That was fun,
shout out to you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I take a little bit of what you guys do really well, and like you saying, like model that for what we're doing with our live streams and our podcast. So just want to say how much I appreciate you guys. Shout out GM Farcaster, and let's go.
Thanks, Zaal. This has been amazing. And you're going to be on the cover of the episode too. So there you go. You'll see your smiling face on there. All right. Thanks so much, Zaal. We're going to drop you down. Appreciate you. And thanks for popping by. We loved having you here. That was amazing.
I love this. Thanks for grilling Zaal.
Thanks for grilling Zaal. Did we grill?
Did we? Should we get him back up? And
do we need to grill? Let me jump back. We've got a few more builder updates that I really want to share because we do not have a show this week on Friday, by the way. We are not going to be on Friday. Adrian is going to Dev Day in New York, and I am going to be hunkered down finalizing CastOut things. So we'll be back on the following Monday. So anyway, got a few more things to share. Otherwise, I would have just waited till Friday, but we got to get these in. They cannot wait. This from OpenSea over on Twitter, a hat tip birthed a counterculture movement. Heard of DGen? They're tippers of creator culture. Join us on Spaces this Thursday, 10/23 at 12 p.m. Eastern with their team as we unpack how it all works. Set a reminder in the post below. So very exciting. Jacek and crew will be over on Spaces with OpenSea. So very exciting. This from Octant, you have, well, now it's probably only a few hours left, like maybe 2. I think we have 2 hours left now for the Epoch 9. You can allocate ETH rewards till today. Time to shape Ethereum's future with your allocations. Some amazing folks who are up there. Natalie Crew is one of them. I saw her in our audience. I don't know if she's still here, but Natalie, good luck. Riley Beans, who we adore. We've got Maggie Love in there of SheFi. So lots of great creators who are part of this 30 bunch. And you can, if you have the token, what's the name of it? I forget the name of it. Anyway, if you have that, if you have the Octant token, you can go, I can't think of the name of the exact token. You can go allocate your ETH rewards, but you only have a little bit of time left. So get in there. Okay. This from Rachel W. She has started something new called CreatorFi, and this was her first interview, Build on Base, and this was with Nikki from Miami for episode 1 of CreatorFi on the Build on Base account. Scooped up some of her creator coin too. You can watch the replay on Twitter. So very exciting. And as we mentioned, Nikki is somebody that I've known for a while through Nouns, and exciting to see her be the first one to launch this token, this creator token, that I'm still a little unsure about. And I think I need a better explanation. So we'll work on that for next week. Get you a better explanation as to how that's all happening. This from TLDR, some advice to avoid getting social hacked. By the way, this almost happened to me about, I don't know, like a year ago now. Ideally, don't take inbound meetings without a trusted referral. If you do take an inbound meeting, in other words, somebody jumped into your DMs who you did not know and said, hey, can we meet to talk about yada yada? Require them to use your meeting provider of choice, Google or Zoom. Ask them to turn their video on. Do not download anything from them under any circumstances. 2 people have tried to scam us. Even, by the way, even if they're not asking you to download things, there's some weird things you can do with Zoom. 2 people have tried to scam us in the last few weeks. Very elaborate, but sticking to these rules rebuff them pretty easily. I expect this stuff to increase with our token value. Crypto not awesome in this way, but it's hard for people to do much to you if you control the terms of the environment. Be a little paranoid. And I would agree with this. Good advice here from Tim. Sometimes they also will pose as journalists. They'll even have the actual handle because they've somehow hacked into it, etc. So be careful out there. This from our friend Willy Wonka, introducing Channel Spaces, a customizable space and mini app for every Farcaster channel. Tag a channel owner that needs a new homepage. Mini app, if you already own a channel, visit it on nounspace.com today to customize it for free. So this is the Nounspace client. So more iterations on that, which is exciting. And Cura also is doing some really cool things with channels. So we have lots of fun things happening on channels. That's good. This from Linda. Shout out to @W. Will, for the great customer support. We use splits on the Merkle team. When I made a one-off request, but it wasn't possible, he hopped on a quick call with me to explain why. Obviously doesn't scale long run, but at this stage shows how much he cares. Also, Jonathan has been on top of responding to issues, and then this led to more love. This was from Limone. Builder's Garden uses Teams by Splits as well to manage all of our on-chain banking and accounting. Incredibly simple, clean UX, and top-tier support from W and Abram. If you're running an on-chain business, happy to intro you to them and help you get set up. And this from us. From quoting Samantha saying, I use splits for humankind. Then Adrian, we use splits for GM Farcaster. If you have any part of your business on chain, you will definitely want to check out their team's product for managing on-chain finances, world-class UX and security, and the best team. W and Abram care deeply about earning your trust. So yeah, can't say enough about them. They're amazing, very responsive, like very quick to respond with issues, and just been
They're
really
so
impressed.
smart too.
So
they
smart.
have, and by the way, sign up for their blog. They're doing tons of writing, like, and really thoughtful.
That is,
like,
it's not necessarily
pieces.
just about splits.
Yeah, it's not promotional. Like, it's just
No.
like, if you have a brain and you're in the space and like, it's I don't know.
This is only for you people with brains.
It's a small percentage of us, but excellent writing, and like, just you can see how they think. I know
Very
for
much
me, like, I'm obsessed with the splits, like the Teams product that's still in beta, but you can get access to it if you have on-chain.
I think they opened up the public. It's a public beta right now. I think it's open.
Public beta. Okay.
Yeah. So go to the splits account and you'll see the information there.
Yeah. Can't recommend it enough. Like, it's so highly usable. Like, it feels like a modern, like what you'd expect from any kind of new app.
I like even that we can have different, like we have different accounts or different wallets for different things just to keep it better organized. Like, for example, our funds that are coming over from pods, or our funds that are coming over from Hypersub, and just being able to have those in different places and kind of, I don't know, a little more organized. We use Safe for a long time. I still like Safe. Safe is a good product. However, it's not as, like, you can't put memos in. You can't, I mean, this just has more functionality.
And they're not building it. I mean, like, this is a beta product with a team, with a funded team whose goal is really, I think, to kind of be the Mercury for on-chain companies. So it's like fully featured banking. But none of this matters if you don't actually trust your funds are safe.
Exactly. Yeah. So and they're very, I trust this team, and I feel, so I feel like it's been a great switch for us.
That's what I was going to get to. The trust is like
trust. Yeah. You got to trust them.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I endorse.
Amazing. So we have some things happening. So with CastOut, so this is our last thing we're going to talk about. Very excited. CastOut is coming back on November 3rd. CastOut is our survivor-inspired game that everything is played on Farcaster. So what that means is every game, every challenge, everything we do is related to Farcaster. And it's a lot of fun, and you'll have a chance to win some money. So we're excited about it.
Actual money.
From our sponsors. So let me start there. Oops, hold on. So let me get my hats ready. So we have, first up, our first title sponsor is Clanker. Just want to make that very player. So very excited. Thank you, Clanker. And very excited to have them on board. And yes, go ahead, hit it. Hit it.
It's
it. Related to that, oh, I thought you were going to, I thought it did twice. I didn't hear the first one. So related to that, we have a new token that just came out yesterday. And let me just speak to this because I know your question is, what would the token do? And the token will do a couple things. One thing is,
what would the token do? What would the token do?
By the way, and I don't have the audio on for this one, but this actually has the clank clank built into the beginning of it. Just for shits and giggles. So we dropped a token. We dropped a token when we first launched the very first CastOut, and it's on the V0 of Clanker. So we wanted to be able to do more with this token. So this is now on the current one, and we did airdrop to a bunch of folks, including past players and our hyper sub, and it is going to be streaming, which you can use Purple Rain to do that claiming if you'd like, or you can go to clanker.world to do that claim as well. So I was having some issues getting that set up yesterday, but my original idea was that I was going to drop it to the top holders of season 3, except something weird happened on base scan where I could not pull the holders. And it was making me crazy. So that's what I was doing yesterday and losing my mind. So for some reason, couldn't pull the holders. So I have a workaround now, but didn't have it at the time. So I'll be dropping some holders of season 3 shortly as well. I'm going to be dropping more airdrops. And we're also going to be using Empire to, I've kind of added some boost into the CastOut Empire, the original CastOut token. We'll be doing some airdrops to them, as well as using it for the new token to kind of play around with that. So check that out if you have played previously, or if you are a GM Farcaster hyper sub holder, you have some buff waiting for you. Also, this token will be useful in this. We have a new capsule collection dropping with minted merch. Hold on, hat 2. Hat number 2. Minted merch. Working with on a capsule collection. Very excited. And it includes a hat, a shirt, and a bandana. So very excited. It's available now. And if you are holding 25 million of the new buff token, you can get a 20% discount on any of these pieces. So there are the pieces there. You can go check them out. Posted them this morning. They're in the Minted Merch shop. So you can go in there and you'll see all of that in there. And if you have, I would say one thing that was really interesting, because I haven't used Minted Merch where they have a discount built in like this. So it does this little wallet check. And if it's taking a little bit of time, it's because I didn't realize this part. It's also checking your external wallets that are connected to see if you're holding enough. So you don't necessarily have to be holding it in your Farcaster wallet, but you might have to just make sure it's checking your external wallet as well. So very exciting. So that was big news. And then we also had a couple other folks join in for sponsorship yesterday. And we have Aptos. Here's my Aptos hat.
That's
because I don't have another Aptos hat.
Do you see my hat?
Yes, I did. Shelby is one of the Aptos things built on Aptos. So we have the Aptos crew is joining us, as well as a title sponsor, and they'll have a tribe as well. And so very excited about that. And then lastly, people, we were just giving some lovely words of praise, which we would have done anyways, but the Splits team is also sponsoring. And no, I don't have a Splits hat, so I made one last night using
By the way,
base hat. So I repurposed Garrett's space hat with.
You're like as crafty as Peachy's mom.
I'm not. She is much better than me. So and in other words, also I would like a Splits hat. Thank you, please, and thank you, Splits team. By the way, when I first went to print it out way too big. I was like, no.
It is. Oh, you could have put that on the top hat though. Oh no,
I
you have
could.
a small top hat.
No,
I could put it on
wouldn't
my
it
big
still
top
wouldn't have-
hat.
it
That
still
would fit
wouldn't have fit.
mine.
Yeah, it's like my whole head. I was like, wait, that didn't fit right. So very excited to have them all on board as sponsors for CastOut. It's going to be so fun. Really excited. We start November 3rd. You're going to see a lot of announcements, a lot of information popping out. Make sure you're following the CastOut channel. Adrienne, one thing I didn't bring up, do you want to show the mini app?
Yes, can we?
Yes. Do you have it?
Let's launch it.
You want to do it? Show it?
I will.
I wasn't sure if it's still in preview or if it's ready.
No, it is ready. It is ready to go. So,
all right, let me stop sharing and let you share. So we have a new CastOut mini app. It's going to make it a lot easier to follow along. That's been one of the things, the big thing that we hear when we've been playing is that people have a hard time following along with what's going on because they are like, if you're not following the CastOut channel, sometimes you miss things. So we have a new mini app for you, and it's very exciting.
Why don't we?
Oh, she's going to launch it.
Yeah,
she's going to launch it right now. Here you go.
Peek. It is CastOut. By the way, I bought a new URL for CastOut.
Oh, fantastic!
And I'm going to cast this. I bought it on. I use AWS for domains. Don't ask why. And it's been stuck in progress, like requesting for 2 days. I just checked while we were on the call now. The domain's still available for purchase on other platforms. Oh, I shouldn't even say this because someone's going to go buy it and then squat it and then make me pay. Don't do that. Anyway,
do that.
I have to go buy it. CastOut.com is for sale for $24,000. I was thinking about
cool. Yeah,
maybe grabbing that. Okay. Anyway, so let's check. Oh, this is not
sometimes
good.
Just refresh it. It does that sometimes. Sometimes the embeds take a minute. I've seen this a lot on Farcaster lately. It just takes a minute. Yeah, it takes a minute to embed. So very cool. And
okay, shall we go to Meme Coin Island? Shall we enter the island?
Enter the island through the old arch. We do have to add Aptos at the top there, but right now Clanker and Splits are there.
And yes, and anyway, so countdown is there, Prof. You've got 11 days to.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah.
And I actually thought we were announcing.
I'm like, I love the countdown. I love the countdown, but it's giving me a lot of stress. A lot of stress. But I love it.
Anyway, learn more or apply. I don't know if you're still taking applications.
We are.
But
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's going to be a fun little app where you can. We do a daily stream where we rehash the challenges, announce the next ones, and do live vote off. So we'll put the recordings here. This is the channel feed, the CastOut channel feed that you'll be able to see what people are talking about.
So all in one place. Amazing.
Live leaderboard and contestant status to see everyone who's playing, whether or not they've been eliminated. So, and then the list of all the challenges that we're playing will be revealed here. So that is on the homepage as well.
Amazing.
Links to the buff token Clanker that Prof launched yesterday. I know you wanted a nice little pretty graph, and I didn't really want to build it out, but this is integrated with the Farcaster token page. So you official merch. So our mug on our merch site, you can get a CastOut mug as well as the capsule collection from Minted Merch, and that'll take you there. Okay, design question for UX people. When you click the capsule collection, should it open up in a new window as a web browser or ask or close our mini app and open the Minted Merch mini app?
I think it should do that. I think it should close our mini app and open the Minted, because I think their mini app is really well done. And then you also get like the spin and all that. So you want to, in the discount. So yeah, send them to the mini app. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Obviously love to our sponsors, Clanker, Splits, Aptos, we're waiting. And then we still have there's still some small room for additional sponsors. So
we got room.
We'll
we got room.
Anyway,
I'm putting, I've been slacking on getting the purple prop up. So I'm going to be putting that up today to get Purple hopefully to sponsor as well. So if you're a member of Purple, the DAO, I'll be hitting you up in a little bit. So look for that.
And do you know what this top button does?
Does it share it?
Yes. So we're going to make it. So obviously we appreciate you sharing the mini app.
Share the mini app.
That's it.
And we'll be, I'm adding the new buff token as tipping on Noise. So I'll be tipping out a lot of that token. So we'll have other use cases for the token, by the way. We'll have some opportunities to vote during the game. It will unlock some rewards if you're playing along. So if you're holding enough of the token, there'll be certain times where we'll have benefits to holding that. So for minted merch, you need 25 million for that discount. We wanted to make it significant, and we picked 25 million in honor of Cobie and his new deal, his new podcasting deal. There'll be others that'll have like a less amount. You might just need one. You might need 10,000, something like that. So just be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and he's leaving Purple. We can call you guys something else, Maybe we can just let people know. We'll just won't let them know who you are. That's hilarious. Ice Toad was amazing, by the way. We had trivia. He was one of the trivia winners, along with, was it Kyle Patrick? Was the other one? I think it was Kyle. And it was amazing. So yeah, it's a nice deal. But it's Basil also it said that Merkel should pay GM Farcaster 25 million for 8 episodes. I'll say this: if they want to give us 25 million, we'll give them even more than 8. I'm just saying, like, we can negotiate that number. Like, it doesn't have to be just 8. That will keep us locked in probably for the next, I don't know how many years. So up to you. All right. That's it, everybody. I know this is a long one. What a great chat with Zaal. Thanks for popping by. Aqueous, later this week, I'll be reaching out to players. I'm finalizing. So we base sort of how many tribes we have based on our sponsors, or a tribe can pay to play. So but we try, ideally, I'd love for players to mostly play for free if we can have the tribe sponsored out. So that's what I'm just finalizing. And we'll get that done. But very excited to confirm the players, and we'll have more information about that next week. If we have any spots left, we'll let you know. But you can apply now to play or to sponsor. That link is available in the CastOut mini app. There you go. So now we can just share that. Fantastic.
Can I give a shout out to Farcaster and mini apps?
Yeah.
And I don't think this is talked about enough, but the fact that, like, for any project or brand, how do you not have a mini app? What is wrong with you? And this idea of, like, once you get used to, like, of course you're going to launch something on Farcaster, and of course you're going to have a corresponding mini app, to think that, like, you can't do that everywhere, it feels wrong. Like, it's just like, what do you mean I can't have a mini app on every other platform out there? And you scared the shit out of me when a month ago you were like, we need a mini app, and I was like, and you're like, no, it'll be easy. Like, it doesn't need to do anything.
I just wanted something
it's just
simple.
Just like a brand companion. And
just a place where people can find information was really what I was looking for, so that it would all be in one spot and just make it easy for people to share and like all that. So doesn't have to be complicated.
It was and it was super fun to make, and it really wasn't that complicated. It took me a few days to pull together. But it's so cool. So now it's like we're launching. Everybody right now, if you don't want to miss announcements, add the mini app. Like, add the mini app, and then
you can add it on the base app as well. So you can either add it in the base app or on Farcaster, or both. Better yet, both.
Love mini apps.
Love it. And like we said, we're not going to be on Friday. Adrian's going to be at the Dev Day, Farcaster Dev Day. Maybe even tweaking the mini app. Who knows? She might come out of it with like a whole other. Who knows what that thing's going to look like by Saturday. So I'm excited to hear more about that. So we'll have a report back on that on Monday. I will be heads down finalizing all the rest of the CastOut stuff. So amazing. And what time does this amazing show start? So listen, sometimes we're on at a West Coast friendly time. On Mondays, we're usually on at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Most of the time, Wednesdays and Fridays, we're on at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So it's a little early for you West Coast folks, but perfect for the Europoors and the East Coasters. But occasionally we change that up if we have a guest who doesn't want to wake up that early. So anyway, amazing. Thank you all. This has been fantastic. Make your button to add mini app bigger. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the feedback.
Thanks for the feedback. Good feedback.
And
good feedback. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Aqueous. All right, everyone. We're going to let you go. It's been a long one. Thank you for hanging, and we will see you next Monday. And with that, everybody, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and HyperSub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the base app. Until next time, bye-bye.